This guy is starting to hang out with me, hang out with us. He is coming when I call him. He'll go sleep under the RV and I'll call him and he'll come. So it took time and patience. And we are moving more and more the right direction. To me, all I'm looking for is that Cash listens to me. Because that's the most important thing. But he gets to make his choice and do what he wants, as long as it's not creating a problem for me, another dog, himself, a person that we're not wanting. Sometimes I'm looking for a dog to create a problem for another dog. But we want him to listen, and he's doing that, and he's coming around, starting to pack up. But it's been weeks staying with the same thing. I let him go under the RV, and then he stays there once I am looking to feed him, or I need him to come in so I can put him up. Then I call and get him to feel that he needs to listen to that. And that's all I've done. I've fed him around the other dogs and all this, but it's been very, very simple. Because if we can't get this first layer, why should we be going and trying to do any other layer, right? So Gus, the guy that's in the kennel there, his owner got him when he was a pup during COVID. She would play with him, play chase, roughhouse, and she would chase him around, and they would do all this stuff around the house. And she was saying that it's really annoying because he's afraid of everything, and he's just constantly just running away and avoiding and just being a problem for her. And so I noticed that when I've started to approach him, he would run away and he would be barking and all that stuff. And he's become more and more comfortable with me. But once I turn away and I start walking, he'll come up and he'll be more assertive. And I have been turning around and I've been disciplining him for it. And what I'm seeing is him improving, not being so skittish. We don't have this back and forth dynamic that I start to move and then he's running away like crazy, and then he circles back around behind me and starts following me, tail way up high. Then I turn around, his tail drops, he runs away. Then I turn around, he comes back, like the game of chase, right? So this is why when he starts to put that pressure on me, I turn around and I discipline him. I ain't playing. That's what I'm saying to him. I'm not playing, because what this is he's actually challenging me, and the person, the owner, was challenging him, and this is why he thinks he can he can do this. So he's confused, conflicted. I ran out of space on my phone and then had to go deal with the septic tank here. So this guy has been plague chased with. When I move towards him, he's wanted to run away and retreat. And so when I come down, he would sprint underneath the RV. And then when I would walk this way, he would come up and he'd start putting pressure on me, tail way up high. And one day, he progressed to putting his mouth around the back of my leg. And this is when I started saying, okay, I'm seeing what's going on. So that's why I started turning around and disciplining him for this. Even if his mouth is not going on me, it's the mindset that he's in. It's how he's feeling about it all. And so I'm shifting that. So, Cash here. Hey, don't come out. Cash here. He's a dog that gets anxious, confused, starts to just go where he feels like he needs to go to be safe. So I want him to feel that this is where the safety is, in the kennel. And I need him to listen to me. And so he comes out. I tell him, hey, don't you come out. He keeps going. I discipline him. He moves back in. This guy in here starts to shake. Now, this guy's a very skittish dog, Gus. He's skittish. Hey, don't you come out. And so Gus, hey, I mean it. So Gus, he's a skittish dog that he has all this energy that he can exhibit. And so that shaking kicks in because he's trying to regulate himself. And to me, I don't feed into that. I don't pet him or anything. I just am here making sure that he is safe, and I let him move through it. And as you can see, he's not shaking, but he was shaking to the point like you could hear things rattling. And this is just what he's going to have to go through. And then things will balance out. But it's something that isn't going to go away because it's part of who he is. So, yes, these dogs are looking uncomfortable and all that, but they already have been for years. And so now we're shifting and changing things, and that's uncomfortable, that's stressful. So, of course, but we're making progress. We're moving the right direction. This guy wasn't even really coming around. He was just laying under the RV sleeping. And then he'd come out here and there to eat a little bit. And then he would come out to smell some dogs. But he wasn't wanting to come in. And then over time he has now started to shift because of the way that I am living with him, the way that things are unfolding, the way that he's experiencing things. It starts to shift the way he thinks, the way he feels, the way he behaves. And so these two are wonderful dogs. They have that fear. And so I look to help them understand their fears, understand who I am. And this is a process. Think of someone getting off drugs. But anyways, I'm sure we'll be back to say more. So I don't want him coming out. He keeps thinking about it. That's why I'm keeping the kennel door open. So what I want to be teaching him is that this is where the safety is. This is where you need to be. And I make him feel like that. So then it starts to shift his perspective and viewpoint on the crate and all these things in the environment. So if he's in here and there's a sound that makes him feel like he needs to come out for whatever reason, I can then make him feel and let him know, hey, you can't be out here. You need to get back in that kennel. So what can happen is he can start to be in there and feel that he doesn't need to get involved in what's going on. Just be here until I come and I get you. This is where you need to be. See, he lowers his head. So I'm going to walk out, open up the gate, close it. Go. Hey, get back in there. Okay. So I'm going to head back out again. Notice, he understands this. It's a conversation that I'm having with an animal, with a dog, with this pit bull mix, with Cash. That is what I'm doing. This isn't mean or abusive. What I find mean and abusive is thinking that dogs communicate and look at the world and understand it through sit down, heel, place. What leash do I use? What collar do I buy? What game do I play? What toy do I get? What words should I say? No, we need to understand the dogs. That's what I'm doing. I've been on this journey. And I started where I wanted a relationship based around nature. Just having an organic relationship with my dog Karma. And I then got mixed up in that dog training stuff. I'm glad that I did to a degree, but it's not the way for me. And I think for all dogs, but right now people aren't necessarily open to what I'm saying. So I look at niching further down, and I'm looking at everybody that things are failing, it's not working, things aren't making sense, it doesn't resonate. And so I'm going to go back out and let's see we're going to further this thing. I forgot the hey, so right here, this is where, hey, go on, cash. Come on, Cash. Come on, Cash. Cash. He likes to be in the shower area. Cash. Samson. So then he goes in. Okay, so we know that he came out when I opened and closed the back of this. Laid back down. Cool. So he had came out, went around, said, hey, come on. And I just call him, have him come back in, put him back up in here. And then I look at fine-tuning this thing so I can address it. To where he starts to feel like, oh yeah, I don't want to come out. We'll look at grabbing my keys. So I grab the keys and I'll keep this open. See now. Oh, the door's shut. He might have come out because of that. Let's see. Yep. Hey. Come on, Cash. Come on. Come on. All right, well, I think pretty much getting the point. I could start looking at disciplining him when he comes out, like hanging out, disciplining him when he comes out, having him go back in. Getting him to start to feel again differently about being in the crate, starting to actually look at wanting to be in there, being relaxed while being in there. He's been doing a good job, but I like working on things without the barriers first, where it's mental and emotional. It's a conversation, it's an experience, it's coming from that place first. Then I can incorporate the barriers.